Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I found some, well, I don't know if it's exactly news because it might be out in some other documents, but I was going through the SEC website and I found some really interesting YieldMax information, but none of these are confirmed or approved yet. So, obviously we still have to wait until the official channels from YieldMax itself on their maybe like their on their Twitter or something. But this is really exciting because I think a new front opened in the high yield ETF wars. Um, so I really think like YieldMax is going to go for the jugular. Um, so in a previous video, I talked about Curve Invest, and I was kind of happy that they were making some good progress, and they were going for the crown. Um, but I think like something changed. But if you could help Panda out by liking and subscribing and watching this channel, I would really greatly appreciate it. And then YieldMax said, "Hold my beer," because I was going through like their some older SEC documents. I mean, there's no guarantees, of course, uh, but yeah, I think I found some really interesting things here. So in this document, there's quite a few like over here. If you see it like in the middle part, there's a few YieldMax ETFs that we haven't seen before. So AI already covered in another channel, so that one's already released. So that became AIYY, but I don't think we've seen like any of this information yet. So there should be Roku, Snow. I think this is Zoom Communications, Adobe, Nike, Oracle, Intel, Biogen. I think this is Boeing, Target, and even Berkshire Hathaway. Unfortunately, it looks like the MicroStrategy one, the MSTR, that's been pulled. So my guess is that because they already have like a Coney product, so that's Coinbase, and that's already like crypto related. So I'm thinking that might be why. Or the other reason is that maybe like even better, like if there's an actual Bitcoin ETF that might be approved soon, and then maybe they'll just go straight to like one of the Bitcoin ETFs. So that could be another like reason too. But either way, I'm really exciting. I'm really excited. I mean, this is crazy. Like, there's so many like new stuff going on. But keep in mind, they've probably been working on this for a while because this document, over here it says like July 7th, 2022. So a lot of this stuff has been in the pipeline for at least a year. So this is pretty exciting for me. But of course, again, there's no guarantees that any of these will be approved anytime soon. But the fact that there's like some documentation on like the SEC website is really encouraging. Again, similar thing, uh, but except these are for like kind of like indices. So this is really crazy because like they have a K-Web, the gold miners, XBI. I think this is also biotech, and then TLT. So there's already covered call products for K-Web. For example, like Clip. I think that's already a pretty popular one. So it'd be really interesting to see what the yield max version will look like and how it stacks up. And then TLT already has TLTW. So again, like I really want to see how this plays out because like if you look at like this is like an old document, but ARC KK we this is already out, so that's like OARC. And then like we see like the Apple, Amazon, Coin, Meta, Google, Netflix, Nvidia, Square, and Tesla. Those are already out. And I'm not sure what this gateway like senior credit opportunities ETF is. I don't know if it's related or not to YieldMax in some fashion, but it's interesting just to see. But again, just because it's on the SEC website doesn't mean it's coming out soon, or maybe it's waiting approvals or whatever. But this is pretty encouraging. Because I wonder what else they're sitting on, and this is just like what I was able to find. Guys, definitely if you find something, let me know in the comments below, because like this is pretty interesting. So I just took a stab at like just coming out with like some projections. Uh, just based on like the current pricing. I've made some assumptions that like maybe they'll sell it like one month out or so, and then like I'm doing like 20 delta cover calls. So even though like these returns don't look that exciting, I'm being conservative here. So if they decide to be more aggressive, like these yields could definitely bump up. So like Roku gets like 19%, Snow gets 22%, uh, so Zoom gets about 10%, which isn't that exciting. But again, I'm just being conservative here. And then Adobe gets 13%, Nike gets 10%, and then Oracle only gets 8%. Intel only gets 9%. Biogen only gets like 14%. And then Boeing only gets 9%. And then Target is only like almost 14%. And then Berkshire Hathaway is kind of disappointing, only 5%. So I'm wondering if YieldMax is, if they're kind of like doing this on purpose, because I'm sure they're doing analysis on this too, like except on an even like bigger scale. So I'm wondering if they're waiting for like maybe the implied volatility to pop up, and then like some of the ones that are kind of on the fence, maybe that's when they'll release them. Because I'm sure like they want to make money, so like if you're putting out like funds that aren't exciting, then they'll probably like hold off on it. So like for example, like KWeb, Clip I think is offering like 50%. So like if you try to put out like a competing product at like 12%, that's not gonna fly too well with people. Um, but again, like most of this is just like speculation on my part, just based on like the documents that I found. So none of this might even happen. But it is like something interesting to think about. So the gold miners gets like 12%. XBI. Oh no, I think I messed up on that. So I'm sorry about that. I'll make this up to you guys. And then TLT is only get 9%, which is kind of in line with TLTW. So like I think that's the plan. Like maybe YieldMax is waiting for like the yields to kind of pump up, and then that's when they'll start releasing them. Because like AI in my last video was like over 20%. So I wonder if there was like a if there's a threshold that they're waiting for to release things, or maybe it's just like waiting like SEC approval. Um, so like my major concern is there's a lot of stuff coming out potentially. I don't want like these guys to get burned out and quit. But you know, maybe they'll use the money that they'll have from these products and like hire new people. So that could also be a thing. This is really good news because there's a lot of stuff coming out potentially, and then like the YMAX that hasn't come out yet, and then that could get pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see how they handle like all these ETFs in one product. And then also potentially they could be like crypto related zero DTEs. So it's a shame that like MicroStrategy got pulled out. But I guess we still have Coney to kind of satisfy us in the meantime. And then eventually there'll be hopefully maybe individual stock zero DTEs, and that would be really crazy. And in fact, there's another video that I have planned coming out maybe tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm also hoping for more complex options ETF. So that new Theta ETF, like THTA, I think that was like a small taste. I'm wondering if there's also like maybe other products that might come out too, especially for strangles and calendars. So I'm really hoping that something good will happen either later this year or even for like the new year in 2024. Um, so so thank you everyone that's subscribed lately. Please give this a like. I really appreciate you guys because I have a suspicion that there are some bigger high yield YouTube channels that might be taking my information because I think sometimes I'm first. And then, but I guess like because once like the bigger guys like they find out the information too, they're gonna get the views, and I kind of want like to at least get like half the views that they're getting, because like doing all this work is like a pain in the butt. Um, so like reading all these SEC documents and going through like the website is like a chore. And just like doing like the analysis like takes away time from my own like personal training and investing. So I really appreciate it if you can give this a like and subscribe. So thank you very much. I'm really excited. Um, I'm thinking there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So thank you for watching and have a great one. Bye now.